the Android store or iTunes, so that people can get it. And there's going to be videos, their workouts, meal plans, just confidence boosting tips. So that way I make as many people as possible aware of Bullyproof Fitness. And with guys like you putting me on their shows, which I really appreciate, it helps us get the word out even more.
Well, listen, the pleasure's all mine, and let's get the word out right now. Go to chriscasamassa.com right now to get your first taste of Bullyproof Fitness. It's also available on Amazon. I'm looking at it right now. Bullyproof Fitness, the ultimate guide for parents to win the battle against bullies, bellies, and make your kids feel like a super ninja. That might be the most awesome title I've heard for any book ever. You can also check out Chris on social media at RealMKScorpion on Twitter. I'm excited about this, man. I definitely want to get the word out about this. We're going to put it up on our website as well. There'll be easy links to get to it from our site as well. It's just nice to do some good instead of taking a break from all the political nonsense, especially during the silly season that we have right now, Chris. Such a pleasure to have you on. And like I said, Teenage Gene is geeking out right now having you on the show.
Well, thank you. Again, I really am honored and humbled to be on your show. I appreciate all the support. And no matter what side of the political spectrum you fall on, I think the one thing we can agree on is keeping kids fit, healthy, safe, and strong.
Bipartisan support indeed. Chris, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Gene. I appreciate it.
Hey, folks, I just want to let you know about a great opportunity for listeners of Behind Enemy Lines Radio. If you go to our website, www.behindenemylinesradio.us, and click on the same box ad on the right side of the page, you will get a great opportunity for a discounted offer to join SaneBox. SaneBox filters out all the unimportant email from your inbox so that you can really focus on what matters. If you're anything like me, folks, you get hundreds of pieces of email a day, not many of which is important. SaneBox's smart filter will get everything you need to fly through your inbox and finally make email work for you. It gets rid of spam emails, it deprioritizes emails that aren't as important to you, and it helps you unsubscribe from mailing lists and individual senders with ease. So again, go to www.behindenemylinesradio.us and you click on the SaneBox ad and you'll be given an exclusive offer you won't find anywhere else. Gene and Russ, back behind enemy lines. I want to thank Chris Casamassa for coming on the show. Check out chriscasamassa.com for more information about Bullyproof Fitness. Yes, he is the guy that played Scorpion in the movie. As you heard, I was geeking out a little bit. But listen, speaking of geeking out, thanks for listening to Behind Enemy Lines. I'm Gene, he's Russ. And while you're online, check us out at www.behindenemylinesradio.us. Check us out on the Facebooks and the Twitters at BEL_radio. And if you miss any part of the show, which we sometimes do live and sometimes don't worry, you can check us out on one of our rebroadcast outlets, including WJHC, Talk 107.5 FM in Jasper, Florida, WDDQ, Talk 92.1 FM in Adel, Georgia, News Talk 1330 AM, WLBB, Carrollton, Georgia, all a part of the Talk America Radio Network, powered by ICRN, the Internet's conservative radio network. You can also check us out at KLRN Radio, Lone Star Talk Radio and Sackheads Media, and Lanterns Radio. Check us out at lanterns.buzz. Also, Eye Talk Radio, and our newest affiliate, Mojo50. Check it out at mojo50.com. But if you miss any of the rebroadcasts, don't worry. It's cool. You can always check us out as a podcast. We're available on Spreaker, Stitcher, Podbay, Player FM, SoundCloud, Google Play Podcasts, TuneIn, Auto Radio, iTunes, and of course, the mighty iHeart Radio Network.
So, a couple of segments ago, we were just talking about like the Trump show, right? I mean, if you were going to write a script, I could not imagine tonight being a real thing back if you looked at it through like the lens of 2016. Tonight, Donald Trump is talking about Ted Cruz as Texas Ted Cruz. Texas Ted. Do you recall the things that were said during the campaign? Look, Ted Cruz is my boy. I love him. He was actually my first pick for the nomination to become president of the United States. But do you remember what Donald Trump was saying during the campaign? I mean, everybody remembers lying, Ted.
He accused his father of killing Kennedy.
Yes! The president accused Ted Cruz's father of killing JFK. And now they're best buddies on a stage. This is what I mean. I almost feel like we're not in reality. I mean, I just seen the President of the United States hugging Kanye West a couple of weeks ago, and now this.
Is it true that I missed the rally because I was traveling from my job, but is it true that he called him beautiful Ted Cruz?
Beautiful Ted Cruz.
He did not.
It was surreal, Gene. Yes, he did.
Not.
It was, and it was a great rally. 100,000 people trying to cram into a place with 17,000 seats. It was unreal.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Barack Obama was having a similar rally, reminding Democrats who really built the economy and got the ball rolling. I felt like screaming at my computer, "You didn't build that." But he's in a room of 2,000 people. President Trump is in an arena with 20,000, and they had to turn people away.
I truly believe, and I think I said this the last show, we are not losing the House. We're definitely not losing the Senate. We're probably gaining seats in the Senate. We're not losing the House, Gene. It's impossible. It's impossible. Gerrymandering is a real thing. All the state, a good majority of the state legislatures were Republican controlled after the 2010 census, and by 2012, the districts were drawn very favorably towards us, and we've held the House since then. When you couple that with this, Gene, what is the Democratic platform this cycle? What do they plan on doing if they get elected?
It's stop Trump is the only part of the platform. There's no real positions.
And isn't that astonishing? Because stop Trump doing what? Trump has been a Democrat his entire life until very recently. So stop Trump doing what? He has no real core values. I think that the Democrats have missed the boat here. They could have negotiated with this guy and got a hell of a lot. They're against everything Trump stands for, but what is that? Like, what do they stand for? I can't think of a single thing. I mean, we could throw the throwaway ones like, yeah, Obamacare, we know that. They're going to raise your taxes. But like, what specifically has this man done that they are so against?
Well, I mean, they're against him being Donald Trump, first and foremost. But, the more progressive wing, they have a platform, absolutely. They want to spend billions upon billions of dollars that we don't have and bring about socialism. They want to give free stuff away to everybody. Medicare for all, jobs for all, income for all, entitlements for all. It's the gravy train. That's what they offer, but they offer no real way to get there.
And just real quick about the Medicaid for all, Medicare, Medicaid for all. But they were saying something like if 10 million people in Florida are currently on Medicaid or Medicare and it's bankrupt, how could Medicare or Medicaid for all possibly not be bankrupt? Like, it just doesn't even make sense. If we're all paying into a system and there's only a small percentage of the population currently utilizing it and it's bankrupt, how would putting everyone into that pool make it any different? It would further bankrupt it. Tell me where I'm wrong here.
No,
everyone has a payroll deduction for Medicare.
You're absolutely not wrong at all, and especially in Florida. I think that what's going to win the day there for DeSantis. Russ, we're from the People's Republic of New York. We know so many people that went down to Florida. What was one of the biggest reasons why? No income tax in the state. Now they're being told that they're going to have one of the highest income taxes in the nation, going up against and in comparison to the People's Republic of New York. So, the exact reason why they escaped New York is what they're going to be trapped in Florida. I don't think those voters who are transplants from up north are going to tolerate.
Are you saying, Mr. Birdelli, that a bunch of New Yorkers moved down to Florida and are monkeying it up down there?
You're a horrible human being, Russ Gallo. You're an absolute horrible human being.
Listen, I felt like you wanted to say it, but you held back for some reason. I don't know why.
To think we made you our Grand Wizard of Race Relations. My goodness. That's a joke, folks. Just so you know, it's a joke.
G. Birdelli's a proud boy, I'll tell you. What up, man?
Good Lord. There was so much wackiness just in the past week, Russ. We alluded to it in the previous segment. Cory Booker. I say his name and you laugh. Cory Booker. That paragon of virtue, the man who stood up and proclaimed proudly, I believe her, you're not entitled to due process, there's no presumption of innocence, that you have a burden of proving a negative, Judge Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh's nomination should be withdrawn because this isn't a court of law where you're entitled to these protections. We need our leaders to be moral. That Cory Booker has now been accused anonymously by some self-identified gay male who is, according to this person, a supporter of Cory Booker, who is now accusing him, after he puts on this whole Spartacus act, of fondling him in a bathroom, pushing him up against a wall against his will, and making unwanted sexual contact and advances towards him. But not only that, he actually tried to go the route that many of these women in the I believe her vein did, by going to Ronan Farrow at the New Yorker and say, here's my story. And Ronan Farrow's like, oh, I'm not running with that. So they go on Twitter, of all places, as if Twitter wasn't enough of a dumpster fire, and starts going nuts over Cory Booker now. My God, Russ, how much is Cory Booker regretting all the speeches he made during the Kavanaugh confirmations now?
Caligula Booker. This is his hashtag #HeToo. His hashtag #HeToo moment. I love it, Gene. Caligula Booker. We got to put that on the website somewhere too. All I know, Gene, is this: as long as we don't find out that Cory Booker threw ice at anyone in a bar during his college days, I think he'll be all right. I think he could survive this.
Not for nothing. This comes after, during the confirmations, he wrote that article in whatever paper he was writing for in Jersey back in the 90s about how he was with this girl and he tried to touch her in a certain way and she pushed his hand away and he tried again. And it was basically admitting to trying to grope someone. And now we have this. It's like, Cory, what's going on here, man?
I love it. When the Democrats accuse you of something, it usually means they're doing projection. They're projecting. The guy said, this is my Spartacus moment. He almost sounded like, I don't know if you got this weird vibe, Gene, when he was going through that whole thing. It was like some kind of sadomasochistic, but like he was the submissive one in the relationship. He's like, Mr. Chairman, I know you're going to punish me. Like, I know I'm facing punishment. And like Chuck Grassley said like several times, like, okay, you can stop saying that. Like, I get it, dude. Like, say what you're going to say. No, Mr. Chairman, I know you can punish me. You can expel me from the Senate and I'm going to take what you give me. Like, dude, grow the F up. Like, this guy is a clown. Didn't he also run around, Gene, saying he ran to like a burning building and he had a friend named T-Bone? Like, what was this guy is, I think, borderline insane, to be honest with you.
Made up an imaginary, lower income, friend. Yes, he did that too, and admitted to doing that. But I didn't take that moment as being what you took it as. I took it as, don't make me do this thing. Because I know, you're going to yell at me if I do this thing, but I'm going to do it anyway. No, sir, you're allowed to disclose those documents. I'm going to disclose them, and I'm going to do it against your will. Sir, we're allowing you to do it. Don't make me do it. You better do what I say. Sir, you can do whatever you want with those. We've cleared it. It's okay. I'm doing it. Damn it, I'm going to do it. That's the way I took it. I took it as, a grandstand, as a stump speech. I took it as an audition for being president of the United States one day. I didn't take it in that vein.
I took it much weirder than that. Him sexually assaulting a man in a bathroom, no surprise to me. The guy has a few screws loose. It all makes sense now, Gene. Cory Booker is not your average dude. I mean, have you listened to him speak for more than 5 minutes? Like, I don't know if he got hit in the head recently or something, but he's nonsensical most of the time. So this does not surprise me one bit.
Man, I mean, what's next in the news? Are they going to start calling drinks racist? Oh, wait! Yeah, they are. I don't know if you saw this one, Russ, but it gets weirder. You thought Cory Booker was weird. It gets weirder. We've been covering PETA for a long time. People for the ethical treatment of animals. And their obsession with turning everyone vegan. A couple of months ago, they were talking about petitioning Nickelodeon to make the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles vegan, and even having them eat vegan pizza in their latest cartoon show. Morons. But now they've gone so far as to try to get people off of dairy by claiming that milk is racist. That's right, folks. If you're putting that milk in your coffee, you might be a racist. Thank God I don't drink coffee